found in the clearance rack. My name is Marvin Chinjanochak, or as my friends call me, Chinny Jack, because as a child even I had difficulty pronouncing the family name. Later they called me Chief Chinny Jack, after someone noticed that my name contains the word Injan, I-N-D-J-A-N, which is a misspelling of the ethnic slur for Native Americans. I grew up under the strict watch of two thrifty, aspiring, Republican, born-again Christian nutjobs. They moved us from the rural environment of a small town in North Dakota to the Orange County suburbs because Jesus told them it was a good idea to join the church over 1,000 miles away from their home. Because my mother aspired to a higher position in society than that into which she had been born, she strove to present a complete public image through her family, one of modest affluence and good standing in the religious community that was our church. She wanted us to look good, at least once a week. I was allowed little choice in the selection of my wardrobe. Sure, I could pick out what I wanted to wear each day, but it was only from the limited range of choices which hindered my personal fashion sense, which is admittedly atrocious, but at least it's my own. I only wanted to dress like a cowboy, until my older brother discovered punk rock and turned me onto it when I was only 8 in 1978. To see photos of spiked hair, shaved heads, and mohawks was for me a fashion revelation. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to adorn my head with a mohawk, wear a crazy handwritten t-shirt with black leather jacket, green plaid bondage pants, black Dr. Martin boots, and jump from the cliff of stacked speaker cabinets into the frenzied crowd of likewise angry youth. But that was not to be for me, for I was fairly well controlled by my parental figures, and with fashion being an economically driven force and me being an unemployed child, I was in no position to argue with someone who considered my rights to be conditional on her whimsy. While shopping for new clothes for school, my mother dragged me to the local miller's outpost. There, as we were digging for something decent in the clearance racks, one of the school's cool kids walked in with his parent in tow, ready to write the check for whatever he wanted. He went about fondling the latest fashion line until he spied me in the back among the clearance rack. It gave him a good laugh, and more later, when he would tell all his friends to move in and comment personally, "Yeah, that's a nice shirt. I bought one 2 years ago." So, that became a running joke for some of my enemies at school, how I was so uncool, to be wearing clothes they wore not so long ago. Well, Brian McDaniel was one of the worst offenders, until his father went bankrupt. He wasn't so superior when the repo men took the gold-plated bathroom fixtures, along with the Jag and the Benz and the furs and the Rolex and the television too. They left his father in possession of only the house and his work truck and tools. But his contracting business was under IRS investigation. He would have a hard time of supplying the necessary income to maintain the lifestyle to which they had become accustomed. They were a mess. But the kicker was the television. Television programming is an important part of the normal child's socialization process, as it supplies a ready stream of easy topics for discussion. The lack of this access to the consensus imagination filter made Brian the most upset because, as he said, it made him just like Chinny Jack now. Though the loss of television was only temporary in his house, it reduced him for a time to my stature in elementary school society, for I lived without a television in my home. It's not that I never watched television, as I often did when visiting friends. It's just that my parents banished television from our home as being the influence of Satan. My parents were that serious about their religion. For the McDaniels, the loss of income through federal garnishment meant that the more lasting impact on Brian would, in fact, be felt through his passion for fashion. Yes, I would see him next season in the clearance rack complaining, "This is the same stuff I didn't want last year." I found an amusing opportunity when I discovered in the clearance rack the doppelganger of the shirt he was wearing and commented on that fact. "Hey Brian, this is the same shirt you've got on. adding with my best caustic, sarcastic flair, "And your mom paid twice as much. How cool is that?" To which he replied, "It's a cool shirt." And I retorted, "Well, if you like it that much, you could buy another and wear it twice as often." But he insisted he was tired of that shirt and was seeking something new. Well, too bad, his mother insisted, and he was forced to subsist on a leaner fashion diet, direct from the clearance racks. Oh, how humiliating for the mighty to have fallen and found himself there, beside me, the object of his ridicule for something I could not control. Karma kicked his ass to the clearance rack.